Hey everyone, welcome to another week of Talk to Me Tuesday. It's Tuesday, February 16th, 2010. I hope you all had a really nice Valentine's weekend. I hope you're enjoying the Winter Olympics as much as I am. So on to lots of crafties today. First things first, I want to show you some of the wonderful things that I have for Linus. I somehow neglected showing you guys these beautiful crochet blocks I got from Lady of Lost Times for Linus. There are 4 of them, and they are all purple and green. They look a little dark on the screen, but trust me, purple and green. And you guys may remember that Star Newts was doing a purple and green block drive for Linus, which is really cool. So I now have enough blocks. These are all 12-inch blocks, and there are 12 of them. So I'm going to put all these together this week, and this will be an Afghan that will go to Linus on Saturday. I will try to record a little bit later this week so that I can put that in next week's video so you guys can see what the finished Afghan will look like. So those are beautiful. Thank you, Star Newts, so much for that. That's going to be very cool to have one whole Afghan that says made by Star Newts, so that'll be very cool. Also for Linus from Clumsy Cord, who's already sent quilt blocks, she sent me a big stack of yardage that's all baby prints and juvenile type prints. So I have a whole bunch of stuff that will be used probably for sashing or backing, possibly even some for binding. What I will do is I keep my Linus fabric separate from my regular fabric, so I'll put this aside and use it however I can in the upcoming months with the all the blocks that are coming in. So awesome, thank you again. And those, again, came from Canada, hosting the Olympics. So let's see, what else? I don't have lots and lots of things because one of my big projects last week was finishing something I started in November. In November, IKEA of Round Rock donated 100 big blue IKEA bags to Linus. We previously were delivering our bags in paper shopping bags that were also donated by different stores, but you know, wanting to be a little more ecologically friendly and wanting to have something that we could reuse over and over again, one of our members went up to IKEA, and she's actually a board member, went up to IKEA and she asked if they might be interested in helping us out, and they donated 100 bags, which we're filling 25 to 30 of those a month, and they go out with blankets in them, and then they come back and we refill them, and et cetera, they go out again. But the thing is how are you going to, you know, everybody's got an IKEA bag. How are you going to differentiate this Linus bag from everyone else's bag, and how are we going to label these bags? Because before we were using stick-on labels on the paper, and we didn't want to stick labels on these bags. So this was my idea, and because it was my idea, I volunteered to do it because I didn't want to make someone else do something that was my idea. We use cards. Let me show you this first. So my idea was to put a vinyl pocket, which you can see right here. This is clear vinyl. It's a 4x6 pocket, and then we have index cards. So it'll say Linus Connection at the top, and then it'll have the amount of bags, and then the recipient is actually under my finger, so I don't want to have anybody's name out there. And then it'll say who's delivering it down here so that we know who needs to take this bag. So that's one thing that I've been doing. And so between November and now, I've cut 100 of these, and so your favorite cat's here. Come on up. Come on up. Everybody loves you. Come say hi. So here we go. Tackett's here. I know you guys missed him. So between, you're going to have to go now. Between November and now, I have cut and sewn on 100 of these. I finished the last 20 last week. This was all the vinyl was donated by different people, mostly from my bee, so my bee friends did that, and then I had some of it in my stash. But this was all donated, so we didn't spend any money on that. And then I thought, well, you know, we've got to make sure these come back to Linus, so how are we going to make sure that everybody knows these are ours? Well, stenciling. You guys know I love stenciling. So I stenciled 100 IKEA bags. And I'm not kidding. I did them about 8 at a time. I'll show you my stencil here because all 100 were finished last week. I made this monster stencil, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 6 pieces of cardstock. I printed it out. I think I did it in open office. And this is, I measured it, it's over a 1/16 of an inch thick from spray paint. I used whatever spray paint I had, and some of them are white, some of them are pink, so as you can see some of them were red. I had some gray ones, but they all say the same thing, and it takes up the whole side, so there's no doubt that those belong to Linus. So that was one of the big things I did last week. We hadn't had much sunshine, and we've been having a lot of rain and cold, and it's not very conducive for spray painting, so I've literally just been doing 10 here, 15 there, and you know, because I haven't had enough good weather to get them all done, and I obviously had to do them outside, so I've had this big ring of IKEA bags, and I would just stencil one after another, let those dry, bring some more out, stencil one after another, and I stenciled 36 last week, and they're all done now, so I'm really happy. Completed IKEA bags. They all go to Linus now. We've been using them since December when I did the first set, and so they're all finished, and they'll all be in use now. The other thing that I've been working on is actually something that you've probably seen, this really awesome brick pattern that HP5 Freak designed, and with a little begging and her generosity, I'm actually making one of my own now, and I'd say I'm testing it for her, but it really didn't need testing because her pattern's perfect. So this is how far I've gotten. I've been working on it at night when we watch the Olympics. I'm doing okay with it. The big thing for me is I'm not used to working with one color at a time, so what I've done is I have this box, and the 5 colors are attached at one time, and what I do is when I need to turn my work, I turn the entire thing so that my yarn doesn't get all tangled up, and that's working really well for me. So I will hopefully have that done by the end of the Olympics. And I haven't decided, that might be a Linus blanket. I have some birthdays in my family coming up, so that might be for that too. We'll see. That's all my yarn. It's by my yarn I mean I bought it myself. It's not something I picked up at a Linus meeting or anything like that. And I think the last thing, is I'm participating in the Triangle Friendship Swap over at Honeybee, and I turn those in on Friday. But I'm going to go ahead and insert a picture because I made 144, and they look kind of cool all together, so I just want to show you that here. And one of the little things I wanted to show you is I have this little bag thing that I bought. I found it at a thrift store. I think you can get them at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, but it's just like a miniature knitting yarn bag kind of thing. But what I found it's really good for when I make buttons. I throw buttons in here when they're done, if I'm making a whole bunch. And when I was making the triangles, you do a whole sheet at a time and you cut them out and you've got 12. So I would just put each 12 in there, and when they were all done I just dumped them in the bag that I needed to turn them in, and that worked really well. I've started working part-time at Honeybee. I'm there most weekday mornings. So if you see somebody clacking away on a laptop in the back of the store, that's me. So stop by, buy something, say hi, go check out the website, which that's mostly what I'm doing, is putting stuff on the website so that you know, products and things that people can access and buy. And I'm also helping with the Facebook and the Twitter and that kind of thing, which has been really fun. And I cannot tell you how cool it is to actually be employed by my favorite quilt store. Like I said, I've already been teaching there for almost a year, so I've known everyone there forever, but it's just even more fun to actually be part of the team. So that is going to be it for this week. Happy Tuesday. Have a great week. Stay warm if you're in a cold place, and stay cool if you're in a warm place. And Team USA. Bye.